You got a gift inside of you that you got to give to the world. You got a gift inside of you, a God given gift, something that you were called to do here. And your job is to get it to the world. Your job is to continue to bless other people blessed with. That's it. I don't know what that looks like for you, but that's this journey. That's this journey of becoming the highest, grandest expression of yourself to get into the life that you don't need a break from. It's you maximizing the opportunities you have here to get to that place, to give your gift to the world. Your gift will make room for you. Like you have to give it to the world. This is again, these are reminders, but sometimes we need this when life gets us on the right in the valleys, the up and down. We start handling things and doing things in life, and we stop tapping into our giftedness. We stop believing that what we have, people need, the world needs. So you got to remind yourself this Monday. You got to remind yourself those things. I took the liberty of taking a screenshot, and this is real important, right? Because again, as we are designing the life we don't need a break from, these are things we have to focus on. None of this stuff is new. None of this stuff are things you don't know. The question is, are you doing what you know? Are you doing what you know? First thing he said was, ask, what are your limiting beliefs? What beliefs have been instilled in you? Have you been programmed with? Have you been taken in? Again, we love our family, right? We love our family unconditionally. We love our parents. We love the people that raised us. We love our siblings. We love them. And they may have given you a mindset that does not serve you right now. That same conversation, if any of you are entrepreneurs, that same conversation that ET said, right? Mom's like, what's this entrepreneur thing? You need a job, safety, security. My mom said the exact same thing. I'm sure many people's parents, loved ones, well-meaning people in their life said the exact same thing. But that's not your journey. So now you might have a belief that is limiting you from giving your gifts to the world. You got to identify that. Awareness is the first step to change. Are you aware of what your limiting beliefs are, of what you're saying to yourself, of what you've been programmed with that's holding you back? Where did they come from? Can you identify where they came from? And the question that the third question is, well, and why are you still living by them? If you want to get to another place in your life and that is not serving you, once you realize what the limiting beliefs are and where they came from, and you look at where they came from and you're like, I don't want that life, so maybe I shouldn't be thinking that way. Why are you still living by those limiting beliefs, and how can we get rid of them? It's important to become aware of what's happening up here. Remember, y'all, the thesis, if you change your thinking, you change your life. We all have limiting beliefs. We all have beliefs that are limiting our capability. And they probably have come from well-meaning people in your life. They probably have come from like people that actually say they care about you. Friends, family, people around. That's where it comes from. You should identify that. Second thing he says is accept that a coach will accelerate your learning curve. We're going to dive into this. How many of you are getting coached? How many of you are around people that accelerate your learning curve? Coaching can come formally or informally. Some people pay for coaching. Some people pay for coaching. Some people just have a circle where we all coach each other in the things we know, in the things that we have expertise, in the things we're learning. But do you accept the coaching? We're going to talk about that. Third thing he wrote, identify your gifts, talents, and passions. Have you identified what your gifts are? Have you identified your giftedness? Have you identified your talents? Have you identified any of these things? Or are we just moving through life hoping that things come? You know, one of the things that you got to do in order to identify your gifts, you have to do lots of things. That's why most people don't identify their gifts, because the programming is we should do one thing. Since you were a child, they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's one thing. When some kid would say 17 things, they'd be like, oh, silly kid, right? You pick one, right? Like that's kind of what it is. Coming out of high school, pick one thing to do. When you get in your career, you're working, you want to settle down. You've been doing one thing for a long time. You haven't even tapped into your gifts. You haven't explored. You haven't experienced anything. I've said this before. I coach younger kids, right? 18 to 22, 18 to 23, and I give them the opposite take that most of their parents give them. And when I get a chance to talk to the parents, they appreciate it. They still don't listen. They don't always agree. But what I tell an 18 to 22, 18 to 24-year-old is that's the time you should be doing everything. You should not be settled down and finding a job. You should not just be sitting down and saying, this is my career. You should be trying every single thing that's out there. You should try this job for 2 weeks, then travel to this city, then go over here, then live with these people, then figure out what that is, then try this job, then start this business. You should try all those things because as you get older, you have less, right? You have more responsibility and less ability to do those things. So the earlier we can tap into what our gifts are, we know what we like, what we don't like, what types of jobs, what types of industries, who we like to be around. We learn all that if we stop saying, pick one path and just go. You got to be able to identify your talents and gifts and passions. You got to be able to do that now at your age and stage. You got to be able to start testing, tasting, figuring out things, living this life so you can figure out what those things are. Said others won't believe in your greatness until you do. You can't allow someone to validate your greatness. You got to know what you're great at. You got to know what God put you on this earth for, and then watch how people respond to it. You think Eric Thomas knows his gifting? Absolutely. Absolutely. Last thing on here, he said, give yourself permission to be, do, and get everything you're capable of with no limitations. Give yourself permission. I give you permission. If you're not giving yourself permission, I give you permission to go be, do, and get everything you're capable of in this life. What I tell you my definition of wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Get the people, places, and things, experience the people, places, and things that God has in store for me to see. My definition of wealth. Give yourself permission to be whoever you want to be. Remove those limiting beliefs. Remove the limiting beliefs. You can be whatever you want to be. That's the message we give to children. When did we stop believing that? You give that message to a little kid. You can be anything you want. You can do anything you want. And then we get to a certain age where we don't actually believe that ourselves. At your age and stage, you might not believe. Limiting belief. You might not believe you can go become a doctor at this stage. I promise you, you could. If that was in your heart, if that's something you wanted to do. But you got to give yourself permission to do those things. You have to stop listening to the people that have given you those limiting beliefs, and you got to bet on you. The way we get to the life we don't need a break from is by owning our life, by owning our decisions. It's by owning what it is that we're here to do. The second thing that ET said on there is about coaching. And in our text, 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class, it says the world class is coachable. Are you coachable? Are you teachable? Have you sat under somebody? Do you listen? He gave that example, right? Putting up a basketball court. Somebody asked, hey, should I put up a basketball court? Coach like, don't put up a basketball court in your backyard. They do it anyway. And then they try to come back and be like, oh, hey, how do I fix this? Like, this didn't go right. How do I fix this? Well, I didn't tell you to do that in the first place. You weren't coachable in the first place. Being coachable accelerates your learning curve. Instead of you making all the mistakes, you're entrusting someone that, even if you don't see it this way, because they have a different belief, they're probably at a higher consciousness. They've probably gone through some things you haven't gone through, so they can guide you down the path. Why don't we listen? Why don't we do it? Here's what it says in text. Corporate America and entrepreneurs are starting to catch on to something athletes have always known. If you want to maximize your potential in anything, hire a coach. Coaching is to performance what leadership is to an organization. Since human beings are primarily emotional creatures, competent coaches are experts at stoking the fires that burn within, assuming there is already at least a small flame. Coaches can't create the flame, but the good ones can turn a small flame into a blowtorch. World-class coaches won't even accept a client if they fail to find the flame inside. They know the flame is the prerequisite for greatness. Average people will only accept the amount of coaching their egos will allow. Say that again. Average people will only accept the amount of coaching that their egos will allow. Champions are well known for being the most open to world-class coaching. The bigger the champion, the more open-minded they are. The great ones couldn't care less about ego satisfaction when it comes to improving their results. All they're looking for is an edge, no matter how slight. Their logic behind this is simple. When two champions go head to head, many times the only thing that favors the winner is a slight edge in thinking, strategy, and technique. All champions look for that one little advantage that great coaching can provide. Understand that you have to humble yourself in order to be coached at the highest level. You have to humble yourself to be coached at the highest level. Even your greatest athletes all have a coach. None of them say, I'm not going to listen to this guy. You can't do what I can do on the court. No, I don't really believe you. No, they know that the coach is there to really, like it says here, turn that small flame, turn that flame inside, the thing you're doing, into a blowtorch. Really accelerate it. Accelerate your success. Accelerate your learning. But you have to be coachable. You have to be teachable. You have to be open-minded. I've seen this in the financial space a ton. And again, change your thinking, you change your life. People that typically don't have all the money they would like to have. I don't want to say they're poor, but they don't have all the money that they want to have. Life isn't worth. They typically are the least coachable. They're the least open-minded when I teach them or I coach them on something to do. People that have had some success, that are financially better off, they are more coachable. They are more open to learning. It's just a change in thought process. If you're more open to receiving information and being coached by people that are ahead of you, you will get there faster. But you have to listen and implement. A mentor of mine, again, I've been mentored, I've been coached. That's why I bring it up all the time, because it's a part of the game. He used to say you have to be coachable at the speed of instruction. Be coachable at the speed of instruction. If I say go, go. Don't question, well, why should I go? Do I have all the things? Am I needed? Am I ready? I'm not sure. No. If you're being coached, go. This is what takes your life to the next level. These are some of the things to pay attention to, ladies and gentlemen. If you're trying to take your life to the next level, this is a team sport. Business and life is a team sport. It's required to have people around you. We just heard most of the people that we were born into around our environment, they gave us some limiting beliefs. That's a form of coaching, just not to get you to the life that you want, but it is a form of coaching. When your parents or whoever around you tells you and decides kind of what your direction should be, and you listen, that's a form of coaching. Now we want to get to the next level. We're going to have to unlearn and relearn some new things. And you're going to need somebody that's a little further ahead of you to say, hey, don't think of it this way. Think of it this way. And then you do it. Hey, here's 3 books to go read. Go read them. I told you when I coach those people that are 18 to 22, 18 to 24, that's normally an assignment that I give them. I give them 1 or 2 books to go read before the next time they come back to me. If they don't, I know they're not coachable. They're not ready for the mentorship. The ones that do, they're ready. They come back, they read the books, they did what I asked them. Now we have a working relationship here because I said something and you went and did it. Bill Gove, this quote here says, great coaching is helping people discover what they already know. You have to decide, ladies and gentlemen, and ask yourself, how coachable are you? How coachable are you in your day-to-day? Do you have a coach? How open-minded are you? How much do you want to actually get to a better life? How much do you actually want to get to the life you don't need a break from? If you're serious about it, you got to get some people around you that care. You got to get some people around you that actively are going to help you down that path. And you got to be coachable. You got to stay open-minded. It's just a reminder, y'all. It's a team sport. You need good people in your corner. You need people around you to help guide you in the path that you want to go. I wish I could do that for all of you individually, but this is all I can do, right? Is make sure that you get this message, get this word, get these seeds planted, and then you go off and water these things for yourself. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. You got to go out and you got to start being intentional about your life, be intentional about who you want to become, and know that it's possible to get there. It just takes a little bit of work. It just takes some intentionality. It just takes you getting your mind in the right place so that you can go off and experience the life you don't need a break from. Love you guys. Push yourself today. Do something that scares you. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Take care.